What is up guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Suman and today's analysis video is going to be about the Premier League game between Chelsea and Sheffield United. So Chelsea lined up in a 4-3-3 formation with Kovacic and Mason Mount, often dropping to the temporary fullback positions to allow the Chelsea fullbacks to move up and help Chelsea in the attacking phase. While Sheffield United, on the other hand, lined up in a 3-5-2 formation, which was mostly 5-3-2 on the ground, with and without the ball. Despite conceding an early goal, Chelsea completely dominated the game from start to finish. Sheffield United had a very clear plan in their mind. They were going to sit deep in a mid-block and they were going to restrict Chelsea's central play as much as possible. So this is how the two teams were lined up on the ground whenever Chelsea tried to build their play from the back. The front two of Sheffield United would drop back and they would try to cover N'Golo Kante, giving time and space on the ball to the Chelsea centre-backs. The wing-backs were covering the two Chelsea full-backs. Kovacic and Mason Mount were covered by the two respective Sheffield midfielders. Norwood was the free man to provide cover and to also cut the passing lane in case any of the front three of Chelsea dropped deep to try and receive the ball. But as soon as the ball would enter the Sheffield United half, they would settle in a 5-3-2 formation. The wing-backs would drop to cover the Chelsea wingers and the two midfielders would step out to cover the Chelsea full-backs, and they would leave Mason Mount and Kovacic to their centre-backs and Norwood. The front two are covering N'Golo Kante, and thus the Chelsea centre-backs are given time and space on the ball. The two midfielders are covering Mason Mount and Kovacic, with Norwood the free man to provide cover and to look for the deeper runs of the Chelsea attackers. Thiago Silva plays the ball to Ben Chilwell, and Burge immediately leaves Mason Mount to step out and press Ben Chilwell. The wing-back is covering Werner, and now Mason Mount is totally free, but Sheffield still has Norwood to give cover. And here we can see the complete picture of Sheffield United's 5-3-2 formation without the ball. The front two were covering the holding midfielder of Chelsea. Norwood was the free man to give cover to his midfielders, who were covering the respective Chelsea midfielders. And they were also responsible for covering the two Chelsea fullbacks whenever Chelsea decide to use the fullbacks for build-up. As soon as the ball goes to Zuma, one of the front two steps out to press Zuma, while the other one covers the holding midfielder. And similarly, the Sheffield United midfielder also leaves his man to press the Chelsea fullback. And Norwood, who was the free man, immediately steps in to cover the marker that was left free by the pressing midfielder. And when the ball goes to the other side, they repeat the same pattern and adjust their positions accordingly. Since the midfielders were leaving Kovacic and Mason Mount to Norwood whenever they stepped out to press the Chelsea fullbacks, so this is where things started to go wrong for Sheffield United. Whenever Kovacic and Mason Mount were able to free themselves from the marking of Norwood, Chelsea were able to isolate the Sheffield centre-backs in a 2v1 position against Timo Werner and Mason Mount. Timo Werner and Hakim Ziyech would often move to the central areas away from the Sheffield wingbacks, and this would give Chelsea a 2v1 position with Tammy Abraham keeping Egan busy. Burge again steps out to cover Ben Chilwell, leaving Mason Mount for the centre-back. But Timo Werner has positioned himself in between the centre-back and the wing-back, and Timo Werner's position has now caught the attention of the centre-back, who is now left in a 1v2 position against Timo Werner and Mason Mount. And this is what Hakim Ziyech, Kovacic and Reece James also did on the other side throughout the game. Reece James was dragging the midfielder wide, with Hakim Ziyech also dragging the wing-back out of his position to open the space for Kovacic, who played in a very advanced position yesterday. The wing-back steps out to cover Reece James, and the centre-back steps out to cover Hakim Ziyech. And now Kovacic is totally free to exploit the space that was left open by the centre-back. Here again, the wing-back steps out to cover Reece James, and now the centre-back is totally confused whether to step out and cover Hakim Ziyech or stay in his position and look for the run of Kovacic. And thus he ends up in no man's land. The centre-back did not fully step out to press Hakim Ziyech, and thus Ziyech had the time and space to pick the run of Kovacic, and Chelsea scored the first goal. Hakim Ziyech was extremely good yesterday, and it wasn't just his passing with the ball, but his runs without the ball is what made things so difficult for Sheffield United. Hakim Ziyech is keeping the wing-back narrow to open the space on the wide area, and Chelsea are trying to use Thiago Silva's passing range to pick Reece James. This time Hakim Ziyech is forcing the wing-back out and Kovacic is forcing the centre-back out of his position to open the space in the defense for the run of Tammy Abraham. I made a video on Hakim Ziyech a few months ago when he joined Chelsea, and we talked about his signature pass in that video, the diagonal pass from right to left. And this is what Hakim Ziyech did throughout the game yesterday, and he helped Chelsea to score some goals. As soon as Sheffield United got the lead, they tried to settle in a low block, but thanks to Hakim Ziyech, Chelsea now finally have the weapon to unlock these low blocks. Chelsea are on a great winning run, and we hope that it continues after the break as well. Thank you so much guys for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.